Hi, I'm Bob Power, and we're pleased to be joined today by Nora Lanari, Head of Investor Relations at Localiza, which trades on our OTCQX Best Market under the symbol LZRFY. Nora, welcome to the Market Center.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Localiza is the largest car rental company in South America. Can you tell us a bit about the company's operations and its business units?
Yes, well, we operate an integrated business platform comprised of two main business units, which are car rental, the major business area that we hold. We hold more than 100,000 cars in Brazil and South America. We are the largest player in Brazil, bigger than the second, third players combined there. But we also hold a fleet rental business unit, which we sign corporate contracts of 2, 3, 4 years. To sell the cars after the contract ends, we decided to build up a structure to sell our cars directly to final consumer. So we built up what we called semi-novos. Poor way of translating it would be semi-new or pre-owned cars. So we sell most of our cars directly to final consumer, and we deem that to be one of the most important efficiency areas of the company, since we cut the intermediaries here and sell cars directly to final consumer, getting the highest value possible for the car. In terms of operation, Localiza, again, is the largest player in Brazil and South America, and this is our focus, to consolidate the Brazilian market.
Thank you. Talk about your competitive advantage.
Yeah, well, this is a capital-intensive business, so scale matters. High fixed cost structure, especially when we're talking about the car rental area. So Localiza is AA company in Brazil in terms of rating, so we are able to raise money and funds better than competition for a capital-intensive business. Last year, for instance, we bought more than 3 billion reais in cars. So from the starting point of the cycle, we have a huge competitive advantage versus our competitors in Brazil. Scale matters, so in buying cars, again, we are the largest purchaser of Brazil. So when we negotiate with the major OEMs, we are able to negotiate better conditions and a gap in terms of our discount and the discount of the other players in the industry. So we raise money cheaper, we buy cars better than our competitors, and then we need to rent the car. Distribution is key for us, larger car rental company in Brazil, but also technology. So we are investing heavily in innovative products, counter bypass, which we call Localiza Fast. So we believe we do it better than competition as well. And by the end of the cycle, we need to sell the cars directly to the final consumer. And back in '91, we built up the semi-novo structure to sell our cars directly to final consumer, reducing the residual, the depreciation of the cars, increasing the residual value of the car. So Localiza is a global benchmark in terms of depreciation, and we also do that better than our competitors, allowing us to provide consistent return on invested capital above 15% every year since the IPO.
Well, thank you. Talk about the company's, some of the highlights of the results this year and what you see as an outlook for the rest of 2017.
Yes, well, I think one of the major competitive advantages of the company is the fact that we have a stable management. Founders are in front of the business, running the business. So we are not looking for 1 or 2 quarters. We are looking to the long run. But since you asked, we started the year on the right foot, as we say in Brazil. Growing volumes in the rental car division by 25%, fleet rental performing quite well as well. So consolidating car rental and fleet rental revenues, we grew 15.7%. If we add to that the semi-novos, the used car sales division revenues, company grew first quarter 27%. Consolidated revenues. EBITDA and EBIT are following the trend, growing 15%, similar to the growth of the rentals. And the net income of the quarter was a record net income for the company, 120 million reais this quarter. So we have good prospects for the rest of the year, although we are in a country that is still struggling here in terms of performance, economic performance. But we do see the Brazilian car rental market as under-penetrated, highly fragmented, so we have not only the opportunity to grow the pie and to be the consolidators of the market, so we are eager to do that in the long run, but 2017 should be a good year for us.
Well, thanks. Tell us about your investor relations goals in the U.S. marketplace.
Well, since the IPO, foreigners represent roughly 80 to 90% of our free float, so they are quite relevant for us, US being the most relevant market of Localiza. We are a well-known company within the qualified investors, but we want to increase the visibility to this investor and to non-qualified investors as well. So US market is a key market for us. We come down to US at least 7 times a year to speak in person with investors due to the importance of holding them as shareholders and long-term shareholders of the company.
Well, and talk about being traded on our OTCQX market and how that helps in your approach to the US marketplace.
Oh, definitely, yes. When we think about the goals for our investor relation department this year, the goal is to increase visibility of the company and especially increase the liquidity of the ADR. So we count on OTCQX to help that. We understand the visibility the platform gives not only to the company as well as to ADR holders. So we are counting with OTC to increase the visibility and help us with the liquidity.
Well, Nora, thanks for joining us today, and we wish you and the company continued success.
My pleasure. Thank you, Bob.